Picture this for 1 second. You're probably in your second year of university, and for once you're actually feeling confident. You get handed your first assignment, and you actually think to yourself, yeah, I'm confident. I can actually finish this assignment. I can smash it. 2 weeks in, you're already weeks behind, and you've already procrastinated so much on top of your all other commitments that your brain starts to overwhelm you with limiting beliefs and constantly telling you you're not good enough for this degree, you should probably drop out. And for a long time, you do listen to that voice till eventually you decide to get out of your bed and actually confront your assignments head on, one by one, no matter how small or little work that you've done. As the days pass, you start to become more disciplined and more confident by actually confronting your tasks one by one, no matter how you felt. And then eventually, you get closer to the deadline and you finally complete it. And you actually get a good grade for once. And thank God, you actually have more confidence for the next assignment. And you actually learned something from it, which is this: embrace the suck. Why did I start the video with that, you might ask? Well, it's because that's what I'm experiencing right now. It's actually quite a big thing that's happening in my generation, which I think we need to cultivate more of: perseverance. Listen, if there's one thing I've definitely found out about my generation, it's that, let me just say, I'm not that perfect either. If there's one thing I definitely found out is we're definitely the most likely to quit the moment things get difficult. Like, for instance, let's say you are trying to go to the gym, for example, right? The first time you start, you actually have good discipline, right? And you actually get to actually go up to your gym sessions, right? Even if you don't feel like them at the start. But then when it starts getting very difficult, for example, where you just can't seem to hit your personal best like you used to do before, and the period of demotivation that gets you in is quite bottomless. And no matter how many times you actually try and do it, you always keep falling short. And your brain just constantly keeps reminding you of the past times that you kept failing. Every time you actually try to discipline yourself at something, well, what do? You normally just give up and move on to the next habit that you wanted to do. That was kind of the same with me throughout my first year of university until now, where at the start things were quite linear, but in reality, when it came to like the final term of my first year of university, where I actually had to, concentrate, well, I faced a lot of doubts, and every day of that final term, I just kept wondering, should I continue with this degree or not? Because every time I actually had to discipline myself when it came to organizing time to actually do assignments, and then organizing my time actually trying to do this channel, I just couldn't, because the more time I spent doing this actually felt more enjoyable and more pleasant than me actually concentrating on school half the time. And as much as I want to do more of this as well, the truth is I do like my degree. Thinking back at it now that I'm in my second year, it forced me to get out of my comfort zone and actually stick with something and embrace the suck that comes with it till you actually get to the final point of where you want to be. Like, for instance, let's say you want to be a good photographer, for example. The easy part is actually getting the camera and, talking about how sick it looks and going on Instagram and liking pictures of other photographers and then commenting in the comment section, trying to analyze what made the photographer so great, even though you're just talking about the issue and never actually doing the hard part of actually grabbing your camera and going outside and taking pictures yourself and practicing it that way, and having to spend every evening up until 3 a.m. actually trying to edit it. Another example could be being a good content creator. It's easy to talk about being a good one and constantly watching video after video after video after video under the excuse of inspiration, instead of actually going out and doing the difficult part, which is getting out your phone, going to the camera app and pressing record, and then spending 2 hours trying to edit the video together. If there's one thing I've learned about human nature is we're always taking the path of least resistance in everything that we do. Having that in mind is quite scary because it's our biological need for comfort that constantly stops us from actually doing the things that we actually want to do. Even though we all know deep down it's going to be difficult, but you might as well suck it up and try and do it anyway. All the people that you look up to in the world, yeah, they've had to embrace the suck of something. Like, for instance, let's say Kobe Bryant, for example. Yeah, he must have enjoyed obviously shooting the baskets and winning the points and winning the NBA playoffs and that. But the thing is, do you think he enjoyed like waking up very early every morning to go to the training session? But he always knew that if he didn't turn up to training, he was never going to get any better. So obviously, he had to suck it up and do it anyway. What is that one thing you're willing to eat crap for? What is the difficult parts of your thing that you want to do that you have to embrace? You found out one thing you're passionate about? Good. How about you figure out what is actually the hard part and actually ask yourself the question, are you willing to suck it up and do that hard thing anyway? And if your answer is yes, brilliant. Well done. Welcome to the ranks of the strong. If not, well, you might as well give it a try. And if the answer is still no, then you might as well pick something else.